Hello and welcome to Girl Let's Agree to Disagree. My girl KEMI, I'm here, Jessica Milagros, and we are here to recap the first two episodes of Love Island UK Series 7. Hello, my love.
Hello, and that was Billion. For anyone who doesn't know, that's my little mini Dalmatian. Follow him at Billion Mini. But oh my God, episodes 1 and 2. I don't know if it's just because I'm excited that the show is back, but they were giving everything that they needed to give for me. Well, not everything, but I'm excited that it's back. So I will take all that I can get and inject it straight into my veins.
You know, KEMI love, it's still early days. So we won't really see a lot of things going on until more Islanders end up in the villa. That being said, so we met the cast. If you haven't seen the cast or the Islanders and our previous thoughts about them, please go to our very first episode that is online. But were we on point or were we on point with the cast coming?
We were on point. We were on point with the cast. I think that the only person who really surprised me was Aaron. I thought he was giving 5'8", but apparently he's 6'3". I'm sorry that I'm such a bird, but that makes him a lot more attractive to me. And he's looking kind of fine now. Okay, I see it.
Let's talk about who got coupled.
Yeah, so we have Jake and Liberty. We have Sharon and Hugo, which that was an interesting one. We have Brad and Faye. We have Toby and Kaz, and then we have Aaron and Shannon. Which Aaron, you had two women step forward for you. You had one woman who clearly wasn't other women who clearly weren't interested, and then you couple up with the woman who wasn't interested. So.
Well, in his point of view, I kind of get this because in his point of view, he said it and he said, I wasn't interested or I didn't have that attraction to anybody. And so I would just rather go with the person I was attracted to because what's the point, right? But yeah, Shannon was not into it and she's definitely giving him slow and steady like friend. She's putting him in the friend zone a little bit.
It's very much
she's like... So I'm totally feeling it. One of the things that just kind of disappointed me a little bit is like, there's definitely no chemistry in that first episode. Everybody seems a little off. Very weird because we're coming off of a COVID season. It's been 18 months for these Islanders that, or not 18 months, but you know what I mean? It's after COVID. We're thinking it's hot girl summer. We're thinking everybody's just going to be really nice and naughty and just horny and all of this other good stuff. And everybody's being so picky.
You know what, though? It reminds me of how we were when we came off of that one show. It's like you get back into being around people and you're a little bit socially awkward and like a little bit more closed off. So maybe that's what's going on. And I don't blame them. I mean, I started going out into public after quarantine and I'm like, oh my God, I'm out in public and the public is here. I do think that there are a few personalities that are shining through. For me, Kaz, Jake and Faye have the best, they're my favorites. Like, they have the best personalities in the house. Jake, I feel like he's very much one of those, if you're not physically attracted to him, it's one of those things where it's really unfortunate because his personality is just so there. Like, I think he's so funny and we've barely seen that much of him, but he has he doesn't hold back, he's very uninhibited. And I love that. I love when guys are like that. They're not afraid to make a fool of themselves and, not super, super goofy. Like Toby is a little bit goofy, but Jake is kind of comical, which I really like. I like his personality a lot. Brad is your quintessential nice guy, right? So he's the type of guy, in my opinion, that he has what he thinks his type is, like his dream girl, blah, blah, blah. But he would never actually settle down or actually even approach this girl because she's kind of intangible to him. And he's always going to end up with the girl next door, blonde hair, blue eyes. That is exactly who Brad is. 100%. He could see a vixen walking down the street and build a little tent in his pants, and he would never do anything about it. He would just go right back to Sweet Home Alabama or Sweet Home Oxford or whatever's going on over there and call it a day.
Their first challenge. and they were able to kind of get a little naughty. Let's say we had some toe sucking going on.
Oh yeah, we had Jake out here sucking. Not Jake. We had Toby out here sucking toes, but the toe sucker general himself, Jake, was out here recording it. What are you doing with that footage? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, he was so pressed that he like was recording it. I'm just like, oh, okay. So he's gonna like, you know, strengthen his arms tonight because like, what is going on? But,
it did seem to relax, to kind of get the Islanders feeling a little bit more relaxed. It broke the ice. And then they got attacked. And it's now a new Islander coming in, which is the sixth girl, Chloe, and coming in as the bombshell. And we're going into episode 2. So
yeah, Chloe as the bombshell, it really just, I want to know who made that executive decision. Like, I want to know who looked at the cast, looked at the faces, looked at the bodies, looked at the energy, looked at their previous work history, and was like, you know what? Not Shannon, Chloe. Chloe is the one that we want. Like, that was a bad decision. And I think they thought she was going to give like man-eater vibes. And in reality, like, none of the guys were even like checking for her, which is hilarious to me.
I'm assuming that production thought that, you know, she was the only person who wasn't scared to take a man or take someone else's man. So they were definitely know that she wasn't going to play it safe, that she wasn't going to play it nice, that she was just going to do what she wanted to do. Not necessarily for the looks part, because when we're talking about bombshell, if you go back previous seasons, we would consider someone like Molly May a bombshell. Like, that was,
or Jessica from season 3. That's another example of why it should have been Shannon. It worked so well with Jessica. That like tan skin, dark hair type seems to be a lot of the guys like Achilles heel. So why wouldn't you just do that? Like,
and the interesting thing is that in earlier seasons, girls are usually pressed when this is happening because they're already kind of like feeling the guy. They've already had one night of sleep with them, or no, they haven't had a night of sleep. They
you know what? See, and that's the thing. They brought her, if they were gonna choose her over the actual bombshell, Shannon, they should have waited maybe 2 days, like 2 or 3 days to bring her in. Like, they brought her in the very next day to kind of tempt couples that don't even like each other. So I feel like they should have sussed out the situation and been like, all right, they're not really feeling each other. Let's give them a chance to, like, you know, swap some spit without it being for a challenge, and then bring in a bombshell. That's what they should have done.
Absolutely. I really liked how this was, where she sent a voice text with her very sultry voice. I have to say that her voice was very tempting, and gave
Did you feel
the
tempted,
men.
Jess?
I felt tempted. I would have gone. And the men had the option of going. At this point, since nobody was like attracted to anybody, then, you know, or they weren't really vibing like that, because it's early days. So, you know, everybody's just keeping their eyes open, is what it is. And, you know, the guys meet her. There's this date happening. Nothing special about the date, to be quite honest. We could just skip over that. And girls are very welcoming. Then we go into this horny devils challenge, and that's where at least we get to see a little bit.
They really hit the nail on the head with those costumes. They really did what needed to be done. I'm going to have to change my sheets tomorrow morning. I'm joking, oh my God. But like, yeah, no, they really did what needed to be done. Like, with that, honestly, with that challenge altogether, because Aaron and Sharon did not see that happening. Pleasant surprise.
That's when everything came out, and I really enjoyed this because that's now we're starting to see something, right? We're starting to see Aaron and Sharon, which were the very unlikely couple. Yeah, there were sparks, and
it was not
really
even just the sparks, like when he kissed her, but then the fact that she chose to kiss him back later on. I was like, oh, we have a storyline brewing. Like, we have it coming. So.
Was there anything, Kemi? Was there anything that you that we found out about the Islanders that kind of caught you off surprise?
I think, well, two things. One, someone getting a sex toy stuck inside of them. Biggest fear. Oh my God, toxic.
I don't know how that. I do not know how that happens. To be quite honest, I don't use bullets. I don't use the small ones. So if it's like the little tiny ones, then I maybe could understand. But.
But
Kegels.
Okay.
Go.
We're going to have to put a disclaimer on this now. But two, I think that Toby trying to kiss Shannon and her not having it because she wasn't interested in him really did shock me, because I don't think we've ever actually seen that in Love Island before. And I love, again, like, that's one of the things that I mentioned before about loving about Shannon. Like, when you know who you are as a woman, you know what you want. And more importantly, you know what you don't want and aren't going to tolerate. So if I'm not fucking feeling you, why do I have to let you give me a freaking, dental exam just because you want to?
I sort of agree with you. But if you're going on Love Island and you're doing a challenge like this, and the whole thing is to find love and just explore and do these things, I'm very surprised she didn't do it at the very beginning. I could understand if it was like a week out, 2 weeks out, or whatever it was, because she found somebody, but she didn't even find anybody. Like, girl, just do. You just kissed each other, and you're like, oh, there's something that happened there.
Maybe she knew that she wasn't going to be feeling it.
Maybe that might be a topic of conversation. Other than that, I just want to be like Liberty, and I want to have orgasms in my sleep. That is just, she has the life. That is the life.
See, I'd rather not. I'd probably scare my dog. So
we are now left with the cliffhanger, and Chloe is about to have a go at these guys and pick her man.
Yeah, I don't know why they left us with a cliffhanger. There was no reason for it. The show hasn't been, we're on episode 2. It's not exactly giving spice. Like, the cliffhanger, season 5, after Tom said what he said about Maura, now that had me jumping out of my fucking chest. Like, that is a cliffhanger worthy episode, because I was counting down the minutes until the next episode to find out what happened and what Miss Maura was going to do. Same thing with Casa Amor. But like this, first of all, we're not invested in Chloe. We're not invested in any of these couples yet. So we don't really give a fuck who she chooses, because none of them even like each other. So you could have just told us.
Absolutely. And also, what in the world has everybody gasping? Because aside from Chloe picking the person, everybody's also all like, oh my God, we're told something. Did someone get COVID? Did someone like...
Not COVID.
I mean, I heard the variant's very strong in the UK. So I don't know. It could, it's not over. But I just don't know what else could be just so groundbreaking.
Well, I guess we'll end up seeing tomorrow, and just judging on this cliffhanger, I don't expect it to be anything too serious, but I am excited to see what goes on tomorrow. We will catch you guys back in 2 days. We're going to do 2-day recaps. If you guys would like us to do more, just let us know in the comments, and we will definitely get back to you guys. But this has been so fun. Oh my God. I don't know if it's just because I'm excited for the season, but this is like the highlight of my past 2 days. So yeah.
Let us know, who is your favorite Islander? Who do you want to see together? Who do you want to see come in?
I hope that it's a male bombshell for Shannon, because Faye, Shannon, and Kaz are the stars of the show. So we need if we keep our girls happy, we can keep the audience happy because we'll have content. So we'll see.
Absolutely. And always fingers crossed, because, you know, in past seasons, like, look what happened to Miss Fudge. She ended up getting Luke. And that happened to be one of my favorite couples of last season. And I was happy for her. And even though she only made second, I was happy for her because I didn't want her to leave. So we're going to give Shannon some very, very good vibes here. And yeah, and I think that is all. We will see you in the next couple of days for our next recap. Ciao.